advising, mentoring, and we're going to cover the difference, or at least what I see in my mind. I started in hardcore tech, which is electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. In fact, I was hydraulics engineer, and I thought that computer science, that's something that electrical engineers do when they get bored. And it never occurred to me they can actually make a career out of it, because it seemed illogical that you study less and you actually get paid more and you don't need to be certified. So it's pretty amazing to me. My first design that I brought to my chief engineer on the hydraulic side, the first question he asked me, am I going to get to go to jail? Because he signed the design. And I said, well, that's a distinct possibility. And he said, don't joke about that, because he signs and he can go to jail. Now, if I write software for that pump and it explodes and kills somebody, I'm not liable. So I was like, that's exactly where I want to get into. So I stopped being an electrical and mechanical engineer and got into computer science, and since I like to do things fundamentally, I went and got a computer science degree from UCSD, in fact not far from here, and then sort of rose through the ranks. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do in the software development, so I kind of did everything in release engineering and database administration, network engineering, but over time I sort of stuck with software and software development. Over time, I kind of developed a knack both for business and technology. So it happens. I don't believe that, you probably see technical people all the time, right? So sort of sitting in the corner, mumbling to themselves, if asked the question, go into a technobabble, why is this not working? Capacitor stopped capacitating because capacitance was beyond. So this is what you typically get, and I was never satisfied with that. So I thought that you have to work with a business, and you have to, computer science needs to be applied computer science, right? So one of the problems with computer science is people coming out of school is you come out as a computer scientist, not a software engineer, right? So there's a huge difference. And over time, I got a master's degree in computer science and then PhD in business, because I felt that my overall picture is not going to be complete unless I really get a business degree, which I did. Now, I consider that very useful, useless degree. So what that means is kind of gives you a complete view of the business, but this is not how the business is done. So if you come out of business school, you have no idea how real business is done. You're pretty much there teaching the 80s, right? So how big business was done, not how the startups are done. So I learned my startups from actually doing startups. I had a couple of my own startups. I worked for startups, and there's a huge difference how those get taught. So that's my background, and this will tell you kind of the things I've done. So I specialize in particular in e-commerce and building platforms. So I started building platforms very early on. My dissertation in particular about A/B testing and multivariate testing, how to achieve better results in marketing. So if you do in marketing, how to achieve better results. So it seems pretty obvious that one wouldn't have to write a dissertation about it, but that's sort of what the academic world is like, right? So you try to prove that something that's very, very well known. And at the time there was no studies that actually proved that if you test, that you're going to get better results. So that's me. Any questions? Okay.